can project. That's fine. We thank you very much for coming to the panel. I'd like to introduce Mr. Tony Moran.
How you doing,
Applause.
guys?
I don't have the sign, so.
You don't have to do that. It's funny, man.
Well, as you mentioned a couple of minutes ago, you have some great fucking stories. So tell me a couple.
Yeah, I got some good stories.
Do you want to start from the beginning with Halloween?
Sure. I grew up in a Hollywood kind of family in a way. The series Happy Days. My little sister played Joni Cunningham. The daughter in Happy Days. So I kind of grew up in that era and stuff like that. And I did a commercial when I was 9 with her, and I hated it, and I didn't do it anymore. But she kept going. And when I graduated high school, I was really, I'm not bragging, but I was just naturally born athletically. And the California Angels were scouting me to play professional baseball. But I tore my left knee up a little bit, and it didn't stop it, but I figured, screw it. I'm not going to, it took away some of my speed. Anyway, so I'm doing, a bunch of stuff, working at supermarkets and crap, and, I just don't know what I want to do. So the agent that I had when I was 9, that was my little sister's agent, she kept asking me for every year to get back into it. And I really had nothing else to do. I didn't like college. I think I went for literally about a month and a half to college, and I was like, yeah, I don't want this shit, And so I called her up and said, yeah, okay, so you want me, I'll do it. I'll do this shit, So she becomes my agent. And she suggested I should go to an acting workshop to, learn about acting and practice it, So I'm in this acting workshop, and I've been in there for about a year or so, and doing odd jobs and sleeping on a couch at my buddy's place. And she calls me up and she says, hey man, she goes, I'm sorry it's been so slow as far as, sending you out on interviews for your age and your type and your, look and all that. But I got this thing, this movie, and it's an independent movie. It's a horror movie. It's $350,000. It's a low budget thing. It's called Halloween, and you play some psycho. I'm like,
little did you know.
well, wait, no, it's worse than that. Because, see, if you think about it objectively, you can't really, you have to really, work hard at it. But for me, in 1978, my agent called me up to do an independent horror movie that's only $350,000, and the movie's called Halloween. It's about the corniest thing I ever fucking heard, right? I mean, a horror movie called Halloween, ooh, It's like, fuck you, I told her, I said, no, I'm not interested, And see, back then, in 78, it's not like it is now. In 1978, if you did a horror movie, it was only like maybe a half a step or a step above doing pornography.
It's not that much different now.
Right, but it's more accepted now.
Oh, yes.
Back then, it wasn't accepted. Like, if you had on your resume as an actor that you did a horror movie, the producers and directors thought, oh, you don't take yourself seriously. Because back then, if you want to see tits and ass but don't want to be seen at a porn theater, you go see a horror movie. You see tits and ass, right? And you don't have, that's, so they didn't take you seriously. So I told her, no, I'm not doing it, And remember, I came from Paramount Studios with my little sister. It was all corporate, big time shit, and I wasn't going to lower myself and, doing some fucking stupid ass fucking horror movie, called Halloween. I mean, that's about as, it's stupid. And by the way, the original name of the movie was supposed to be The Babysitter Killer, but they had to change it to Halloween because it was too graphic, So I said no. And she said, okay, look at it, man. She goes, look at it. She goes, Jamie Lee Curtis is in the movie. I go, well, who the fuck is that? Because she's only 19, I'm 20 at the, 21, she's like almost 20 at the time. and she explains it to me, and I go, I don't give a shit. I'm not doing this, because she was a nobody, So she goes, okay, look at, She goes, Donald Pleasance is in the movie. And I've known this lady for 10 years, 12 years, or whatever it was. I don't know, somewhere around there, 11 years. And I said, you're full of shit. There's no way Donald Pleasance is in this movie. This guy's a classic British actor. He was in The Great Escape. This guy's a classic British actor. You're gonna tell me he's in this piece of shit? She goes, Tony, I swear to God, he's in the movie. I go, Mary, why would you tell me this? Why would you do that? Why would you even say this shit to me? She goes, Tony, sign the contract. I'm like, what? He's in this movie? Because I was a big fan of his. I mean, the guy's a brilliant actor, right? Now here's the side story about why it was in the movie. So you guys are, fortunate to be here to listen to this shit, because it's true. He's in the movie because he's on his 4th or 5th divorce. He needed the alimony money. That's the only reason why he did the movie. But then later he said it was the best thing that ever happened to him. No shit. It's Halloween, you know what I mean? It's Michael Myers shit, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I said, fuck, are you kidding me? He's in this, he signed the contract, he's in this movie. She goes, yes. I'm like, fuck. So I'm like, okay, man. So I thought about it. I thought, okay, if I get the part, I'm doing a movie with Donald Pleasance at least, even though it's like one step above a soft pornography movie, right? Called Halloween. And PJ did show her tits, right? So that's what I mean. That's why you went to a horror movie, right? So, okay, so if I get it, so that's that. If I don't get it, well, I don't give a shit. Fine, whatever, right? So that was on a Wednesday morning. And the interview, she tells me, is on a Friday morning at 8:30 in the morning in Hollywood. Back then, you only had a Thomas guide. There was no such thing as GPS and shit, or maps or Waze or whatever, So I said, okay. And I go, so now what do I do in this movie again? She goes, I don't know. You just play some psycho. I'm like, all right, fuck it, So I don't sleep for 2 days on purpose at all, not even a half an hour. And I don't shower, and I don't shave, and if they want psycho, I'll give them fucking psycho, right? Because I don't really give a shit in a way, because it's never good. Nobody's ever going to see the fucking movie, you know what I mean? So, but I do like Donald Pleasance, And so I go, okay. So I go on the interview, and of course it's in a ghetto part of Hollywood. It was off of an alleyway above something else, and it was just one room, right? Just really ghetto. And I go there, and I didn't shave. I'm stinking, I'm just cranky as shit, So I go in there, and there's a guy to the right who is Erwin Yablans, who is the producer, and he's pretty clean cut, wearing nice clothes and shit. And I'm like, all right, hey, nice to meet you, it's not so bad, And so he points across the room, which is, from not even from here to this wall. It's like really close. It's like a little studio room. And he goes, that's my director, John Carpenter. And I'm like, all right. I look over, and he stands up and comes walking over to shake my hand. He's like wearing tennis shoes and jeans and a T-shirt, and he's got a ponytail. I'm like, oh, shit. Fuck. Bad news. You know what I mean? So I need the money because I'm sleeping on a couch, and I want to do something with Donald Pleasance for sure. So they talked to me for about 10 minutes, and they didn't say anything about the movie at all. Didn't say a fucking word about it. They just talked to me about my life and shit and what I do, blah, 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 blah. And then there was a documentary on AMC, I think it was in 2009. It was the first documentary they did on Halloween, and they have John Carpenter on the film, and they go, well, why did you pick Tony Moran to play Michael Myers, unmask Michael Myers? And he goes, because I thought he had an angelic face. And I thought, well, that's pretty funny. Because there's nothing angelic about me, really, at all. You guys understand that? Or I'm just not angelic, but he thought I had an angelic face. Anyways,
Helps you get away with it.
I thought it was funny.
Sure.
It looks like you guys are too high or something. You guys aren't listening or something.
I'm fairly
I don't
certain
know.
they're straight. I'm a little high, but
I am too. I'm really fucking high right now, man. So, but I thought that was funny shit I ever heard. Angelic? Are you out of your fucking mind? There's nothing angelic about me, bro. But anyways, that's what he thought. Okay, whatever. Okay, I had a pretty face, he thought.
Take the compliment.
I don't give a shit. So I sign the contract and I give him my measurements to my agent. She passes it on. She calls me. She says, "Okay." She goes, "Here's your set date when you're gonna film. It's in Hollywood. It's on Orange Street in Hollywood, off the La Cienega, blah, 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 blah." I'm like, "Okay." So I go there, and they told me who to ask for wardrobe. Okay, it's Mary or Sue or whatever her fucking name was back then. I don't know. So I go there, knock on the door. They enter, they come in. And, you know, the cameras are all wirings, everything. And I go, "Yeah, I'm Tony Moran. I'm supposed to I'm asking for the wardrobe chick, blah, 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 whatever her name is." They go, "Okay, we'll go get her." Wait there, and she comes back. This girl comes back, and she's got the coveralls draped over her arm and the airborne army boots with the hooks on the back of the ankles, you know, so you can pull the boots on, you know, in her fingers. And she's got a mask and a jar of Vaseline in her other hand. So, "Hey, Tony, how you doing? How's it going? I know it's so good to meet you. I'm so happy you're here, man. Oh, so good. This is so much fun." I'm like, "Great. I'm good. And she's just like bubbly shit, you know? And I'm like, "Great, you know?" And she goes, "I got your wardrobe, got all your stuff here." And I'm like, "Okay, cool, excellent." And I go, I point to the mask and I go, "What's that for?" Because nobody told me about a fucking mask.
So much for the angelic face.
And I said, "What's the mask for?" She goes, "You gotta wear it." I'm like, "What?" She goes, "Yeah, this is what you wear in the scene." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" "I wear a mask in this movie?" I'm like, and now it's becoming a porno, right? And I'm like, "You telling me I gotta wear a fucking mask in this movie?" She goes, "Yeah." She goes, "But," she can see I'm getting pissed off. She goes, No, don't worry about it. Jamie at the end, she's gonna pull off the mask, get to see your face. Don't worry about it. Don't worry, it's okay. I'm like, "Oh my God," you know. So I already signed the contract. I'm sleeping on the couch and broke. I need the fucking money. I go, "Okay, what's the Vaseline for?" She goes, "Well, you got a lot of hair." She goes, "This mask is 100% latex. If you don't put Vaseline in your hair, it just will rip your hair out like Velcro." I'm like, "Oh, great, wonderful." And so I did my shit, you know. And remember I mentioned my little sister? She didn't know I did the movie until 2006 because I didn't tell anybody. I was so ashamed to do it. And then once it was not shameful anymore, I thought, "Fuck it, what am I going to do? Walk around telling everybody, 'Hey, I was Michael Myers,' you know, well, ooh, you know, no, I'm not going to do that." You know, it's like, so we happened to do a convention together because she was estranged from our whole, not just me, but our whole family for years, and because she got annihilated from Hollywood. You know, they just totally abused her. And so she was bitter. But anyways, we happened to be doing a convention together. And I hadn't seen her in years and talked to her in years. And I'll never forget it. It was like, I started doing conventions in 2005, but I only did a couple. And then 2006, I think, is when she saw it. And I was still brand new at doing conventions. I didn't know much about them, you know. But anyways, I'm signing autographs with some fans, you know. And she's in the same fucking tent. It's a chiller. It's a huge convention, right? So she's in there's like 3-4 tents they put up, and then there's the ballrooms. It's huge. Thousands and thousands of people go. Anyway, so we're in the same tent. We just happened to work out that way. And I hadn't talked to her for years, so I'm signing autographs, and I see out of the corner of my eye, she's walking up to my table, right? and I'm signing I think my parents died without even knowing I did Halloween. I don't think they even knew. But I'm signing autographs, and I see her coming up, you know, and I got to take care of my fans. And she doesn't get real close. She gets about between you and I, you know. And she looks up at the banner, and she looks at me, and she looks up at the banner, and then she looks at me. And she's like, "What the fuck?" And I was like, "Yeah, well, you know." And that was that, you know. And that's how she found out. So, You're just kind of a wild motherfucker, I was. So anyways, yeah, so here's another one. Here's another good one, right? So Halloween didn't become popular until 2 film critics saw the movie, but one in particular, Rex Reed. The movie came out, and it was put out in like these podunk theaters across America that, were like bullshit, Nobody's going to know what the movie is. But Rex Reed, who was a very famous film critic on network TV, he happened to see the movie. And he was on network TV and said, this movie's good. And that's how the movie blew up, right? But before that, we filmed in April, and in August, I get a little, like a letter, invitation type envelope in the mail. And it's from John Carpenter, and he's asking me to come to the premiere of Halloween. And I thought that was the funniest fucking shit I ever heard in my life. They're asking me to come to this piece of shit? I mean, nobody's ever going to see this movie, right? He's asking me to go to the premiere for the cast and crew only. Not like a premiere, but just a premiere for the cast and crew, right? So I'm like, what an idiot. And I took I'm such an asshole. I took the invitation, I threw it away, didn't even go. All I had to do was become friends with this motherfucker. And I could have been in all his movies probably, right? Maybe not like fucking Kurt Russell, but something. You know what I mean? But it's never been my thing to suck cock. I just don't do it. You know what I mean? I just don't do it. You know what I mean? So I just threw the fucking shit away. And so I'm minding it's just a true story. I'm minding my own business, man. I'm driving in my red Volkswagen Bug down Sunset Boulevard, right? I'm doing a waiter, bartender, whatever that fucking shit was back. It was either one of them, right? I'm going down, get off work, going down Sunset Boulevard, right? Sunset Boulevard, when you get to a certain point, well, in Sunset, in Main Sunset, there's nothing but billboards, but then you go through residential, then you get to another town called Westwood, which is a big fucking date night place. It's got great restaurants and these beautiful old theaters, and that's where you go on a date. It's beautiful there, right? So I'm going down this fucking Sunset Boulevard to go home, and all of a sudden I see this fucking billboard with Michael Myers' face on it, and it says Halloween. I'm like, what the fuck? This piece of shit's got a billboard? And I'm like, what the fuck? I thought, why would anybody want to go see this shit? Why would anybody want to do it? I mean, it's called Halloween. It's corny. There's a mask in it. It's stupid, And I was like, oh, fuck, I can't believe this shit, A month or two go by or whatever it was. And that movie's playing fucking everywhere. Everywhere. I turned to my girlfriend at the time. I go, English chick, model, beautiful, accent, you know what I mean? I go, man, baby, have you seen this movie's playing everywhere? She goes, yeah, I know, I've seen that. And I've noticed that. And I'm like, want to go see it? She goes, yeah, fuck it, why not? So we go, this is a true story. So we go see it. We're in the San Fernando Valley, in the fucking ghetto part of San Fernando Valley where I lived. It's like I was broke, We go to the theater, multiplex fucking place, We're sitting in the theater, and we're sitting in the back near the middle and shit, and watching the movie, and I'm watching it, and I'm like halfway through, and I turned to her and I go, this movie's not too bad. She goes, yeah, it's not too bad at all. That's how I saw the fucking movie. Fucking asshole, man. Just a fucking dick. But then I learned my lesson, what I mean?
Yeah?
Yeah, I learned my lesson, yeah.
What was the actual shoot like?
Fast.
Yeah?
Yeah, the actual shoot, there was no scene that took longer than three takes.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have the money. And actually, my favorite scene in the movie, besides choking Jamie Lee Curtis, of course, but other than that, is the closet scene. That scene just, to this day, still freaks me out. Mm. Because it's so claustrophobic, and she's got nowhere to go. And it's just, it's cool. And Tommy Lee Wallace did that scene. Now, the story behind that scene is the reason why they used Tom Lee Wallace. He was the editor and set designer guy. Is because it was such a low budget movie, and independent movies are always filmed on location. There's no studio that you go to film. It's always on location. So we're in this house, and they had the wood slats. So if it took more than one take, he knew exactly where to punch through the closet door, so he didn't. So they didn't have to like replace that many fucking wooden slats. It's a true story, And then The Mask is another story where Tommy Lee Wallace is involved with. They knew for sure they wanted Michael Myers at 6 years old to have a Halloween mask. They knew that for sure, definitely, that was done. But they had no clue what they wanted to use when Michael Myers became 21. They didn't know. They didn't know what they wanted to use. But they knew they wanted to use a mask. I don't know why, but maybe it was like LSD or something. Who knows? Because there was a lot of drugs back then that were, and good shit too. Really good shit. But anyway, so Tommy Lee Wallace is involved with trying to find the mask. And so he went in Hollywood to costume and Halloween stores looking for something. But it wasn't like they were interested in like a Frankenstein or a Wolfman, It was, he just didn't know. So, and I'll never forget him telling me this story. It was great, how he told it, because he seemed like he did a lot of acid, a lot of LSD. When he talks to you, you go, yeah, bro, you've done a lot, haven't you? Probably peyote also too, huh? Anyway, so he's telling me the story, and he goes, I just, walking down, going to store to store, walking down the street, and he goes, I go into this one store, Tony, and he goes, and it's true, man. He goes, I came in, and he goes, and I saw this William Shatner mask, and he goes, I just stopped, and I just stared at it like, how weird is it in so many levels? You know what I mean? Because it's William Shatner, right? And it's flesh color, right? And it's got hardly any features and shit. And who gives a fuck about William Shatner, right? And he's just like looking at it. He's like, this is really trippy, man. He goes, this could be pretty good, So he bought a couple of them, and he brought them back. And then they customized it. They painted it white, and they trimmed the eyebrows and the fucking sideburns and shit, And they were only $1.89 a piece. It's true. That's what he said. $1.89. And he says what I thought was if we just kind of did something to it because it had nothing really to it, that it could be really creepy because there was really nothing to it, That makes it even weirder and scarier. And that's how they got the mask. That's how the mask came about. And William Shatner is a fucking little bitch about it. If you go to conventions and you bring a mask up to him, he won't even sign it. It doesn't matter if you offered him $1,000, he won't sign it. He's so bitter, like a little bitch. It's like, really, pal? Seriously? We just kind of fucking borrowed it, man. We didn't produce it, He's like, fuck you, It's like, I'd love to meet that fucker too. I really would. I'd like to just say, how many fucking, things do you sit on and shove up your ass all day long, pal? Because your head's up there. You got to eat, right? Funny guy, huh?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So tell us about Donald Pleasance.
Well, he I can't say I was like pally-wally with him, because he wasn't pally-wally with anybody. He was ashamed to be on that fucking set. No, I don't blame him, man. I don't blame him. Later on, like I said, he said it was the best thing that ever happened to his career.
Sure.
But he wasn't rude. He was just very, very, very professional and very non-committal about being personal with anybody. And that was fine by me. I didn't give a shit. I was like, okay, you want to act? Let's do some acting, bro. That kind of thing. So, I have nothing bad to say about him. I don't have anything great to say about him, but nothing bad. He was a good guy to me, I thought. He had a good vibe, too. I thought he was the vibe that came off of him was good, you know?
Sure.
Yeah.
What about John Carpenter?
Brilliant fucker.
Yeah.
I mean, brilliant, dude. I mean, the scenes, he had everything down to the fucking like, millimeter as far as where the cameras were set and the lighting and everything, and then he was really anal about all that shit, but also friendly when he talked to you, you know. And when he talked to me about the scene, about the, you know, what was going to happen when he, you know, because the mask comes off and I got to put it back on, but not really quickly. He didn't want it quickly, and I, you know, being an asshole actor, I didn't want to be quick either, man. I want to show my pretty face, you know what I mean?
Your angelic face.
Yeah, my angelic one, yeah.
Absolutely.
So, but oh, you know, I'm joking about it, but to make it seem a certain way, you know, and so we talked about it, and he was on the same page as I was, and I was on the same page as him, and that, you know, that I wasn't going to make it like some, you know, huge dramatic fucking, you know? But I wasn't also going to just like, you know, like a robot. It just had to be some kind of like faint little feeling, you know, that would come across on film, and that's what we agreed on.
What was your reaction to seeing your face? You said you gradually enjoyed the movie as it was going on. What was your reaction?
Well,
to
I never said I enjoyed it.
Well, you said you didn't think it was bad.
Yeah, objectively speaking, I thought the movie's pretty good. Yes,
right.
it's a really good movie, but I don't really enjoy watching,
Okay.
especially myself. I never have. I just don't like.
Yeah, most actors.
Yeah, I just don't like to do it. Yeah, and there's multiple reasons because of that. But yeah, but the movie itself, besides me, I mean, it took me a long time to really understand the depth that he did on that movie. I mean, the guy's, you know, and plus, if you talk to him, he'll tell you that Halloween was just a fucking joke to him. He just did the movie as a, you know, just having fun. It wasn't like a serious goddamn thing. It wasn't like, you know, Hitchcock with Psycho.
Right.
He was just fucking around.
He was more proud of the Elvis movie he'd done
Exactly.
the year before.
Yeah, you know a lot. Yeah, I can tell you know a lot.
I'm a hell of a guy.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Well, I bet you are. But, you know, it's fascinating because I didn't know that until a couple years ago even. I mean, I keep learning shit. And I learn more shit from my fans than I do from, you know, my own self, of course, you know, or books or whatever. Fans teach me so much, it's unbelievable. And this is how I learn all this shit, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, I was so glad to hear it because he's like, nah, just fucking around, dude. I don't take this shit seriously, the Halloween thing. It's like, oh, that's fucking cool, man. Because I didn't either, you know. I thought it was a piece of shit, you know. And then here's the other thing. He screened the movie before they had music in it.
Yeah.
And all the studios said, because they laughed when they saw the scenes without the music. And they had a guy that they hired to do the music, but of course, like every movie, you know, how it works is at the end. See, when you film a movie, the last thing you do, the very, very last thing you do is the music. That's the last thing you do. Well, they got to the end, they had no more money. And so the guy that they said, well, sorry about that, man. You know, so they screened it without the music. So John Carpenter's dad is a professional musician, and John is an amateur one. And so he decided to do the music himself. So he probably was snorting coke for 3 days and fucking got on the keyboard and did his shit. Because if you listen to the music, it's like me. There's a lot of fucking speed in that shit. You know what I mean? And he came up and it was just iconic. You know, it's iconic. But that's how the music came about. And then once they did the music, the studios went, well, that's not bad. It's pretty good. And John Carpenter's brilliant, you know. And that's how the music came about on the movie. I mean, it's like a perfect storm, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And when I tell people, fans or whoever, that I'm probably one of the most blessed guys walking the earth, I mean that to the bottom of my soul. I'm one of the most blessed guys on earth because I denied the goddamn movie my whole life. Or not my whole life, but you know what I mean.
Sure.
For years. And, you know, I just kept seeing, you know, I did a lot of TV work after that, you know, guest stars and feature roles, you know, Chips and Wallens and all. And then I got tired of Hollywood and I said, fuck you, and I'm just out. But I just kept seeing these fucking Michael Myers movies keep coming out. I'm like, what the fuck? Because I never saw them, you know what I mean? I never watched them, you know? I saw 1 and 2. That's the only ones that I was involved with. And I wasn't even involved in 2 because they just used my face. And I wasn't, you know. I just kept seeing these things fucking, you know, I'm like, wow. This is trippy, man, you know? And then you got the Friday the 13th, and you got Nightmare on Elm Street, and it fucking shit started blowing up. And I'm like, yeah, I don't want to know about this shit, you know?
At what point did you appreciate that you were part of a cultural thing?
The first time I did a convention.
Yeah?
Yeah, the first time I did a convention. Because, you know, my fans are the best. And what happened was I was doing mortgages, you know, playing it straight, you know, making some dough. And this guy, a buddy of mine, he calls me up on a Monday. He goes, hey, bud. He goes, his name was Guillermo. He goes, hey, man. He goes, I was at this party over the weekend in Hollywood, and I was talking about you to somebody, and then this other guy hears me say your name. And I go, yeah. And he goes, this was when I was like almost 50, right? And I go, okay, yeah. What's up with that, man? He goes, yeah. The guy goes, are you talking about Tony Moran, that Tony Moran, that Tony Moran, that Tony Moran? And he goes, yeah, he's a good friend of mine. He goes, dude, I've been looking for that guy for 10 years. I want to do an interview with him, man, in this horror magazine. I go, well, you didn't give him my number, right? He goes, fuck, dude. He goes, no way I'd give him your number. You know me, man. There's no way I'm giving you your number out. He goes, I got his number, and I told him if Tony's interested, he'll call you. I'm like, so I'm thinking, because I swear to God, you know, I was so fucking far out of Hollywood. But I just saw these Michael Myers shit going on, right? These Halloween movies, right? I'm like, who the fuck wants to fucking interview me? You only see my face for what, 2 or 3 seconds? What the fuck you want from me, you piece of shit, right? I mean, what do you want from me? You know, what are you doing? Mm-hmm. So I thought about it. I'll call this guy. He's kind of, but if he's psycho, you know. So I call him up. I talked to him 3 separate times to make sure he wasn't like psychotic, because it's like, why would you want to interview me, man? Why would you want to do this? So I set up the interview, but he had to come to my work, to the conference room. You know what I mean? So I'm safe. You know what I mean? He has to come to me. You know?
Right, sure.
So he comes, and he's from Orange County. He's got, you know, Doc Martens on and shorts and tattoos everywhere, and his fucking spiked hair. His name is Sean Clark. He's the biggest dick you ever walked through.
I need to take that in for a second because I know Sean. So that's beautiful, and please continue.
Yeah. So you agree?
I can't agree publicly.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, he's a poser, and he's a cocksucker. But nothing wrong with, you know, being a cocksucker.
Pays the bills.
If you, but I don't mean that like sexually. I just mean that like mentally, you know. Anyways, he comes in and he comes in and I sit down with him and he's like sweating and shit. He's like all fucking bent out of shape, you know. And I'm like, you know, and he's you know, whatever. So he asked me all these questions, you know, because it turns out Sean Clark, his favorite movie is Halloween and Michael Myers, which he told me after he interviews me, right? So we're done. So he goes, hey man, can you walk me down to the garage, you know, where I parked, you know, in the building? And I go, sure.
Nothing sketchy about that.
Sure. You know, he goes, I want you to sign some shit. I'm like, what do you mean sign? What do you mean sign? What are you talking about? He goes, your autograph. I'm like, my autograph? What are you talking about, my autograph? He goes, I want your autograph. I'm like, you want my fucking autograph, dude? You're a fucking loser. I mean, seriously, right? Because you only see my face for fucking 3 seconds or whatever it is. You're a fucking loser, dude. You know, this is true. You know, but I had a lot to learn. I didn't know, you know. But anyways, I got humbled. But anyway, so we go down there. He's got an SUV. He opens up the back thing, the hatch, and he had a total of 11 items. He had posters from fucking Japan, England, all these rare shit that I know now. I didn't know that, right? He goes, yeah, can you sign these? And I go, so you want me to sign my fucking name on here? He goes, yeah. I'm like, fine, whatever, dude. You know, what are you gonna do? Go jack off at home off of this shit or what? You know, because he's got everybody else's signature. Like, you really need a. I didn't say this, but I'm thinking you really need a life, bro. You know, I mean, okay, whatever, dude. So I signed all this shit, and he goes, you ever thought about doing horror movies? I mean, horror conventions? I go, horror? He goes, no, horror. I'm like, oh, horror conventions? What's that? He goes, yeah, there's horror conventions all across the country and Europe and shit, and horror's a huge thing, and horror fans are like totally fucking loyal, just hardcore. I mean, it's the greatest. I'm like, no. And he goes, well, here's what happens. You know, there's these conventions, the promoters fly you out, give you a hotel room, and you sign autographs for money. I'm like, what? I go, money? He goes, yeah. I go, like, he goes, you know, every time you sign your name, you know, whatever they want. I'm like, shit me. He goes, no. I'm like, well, that's interesting. So we do. So well, let's keep in touch. We'll figure maybe. Well, we'll see. You know, because I'm making bank in the mortgage business, man. I mean, like, at one point I was making $20,000 a month. You know what I mean? Just like hand over fist shit, right? And never met anybody. Just did it all over the phone, you know. And so he says, yeah, we got this little convention in the San Fernando Valley in Southern California, and I was living in Northern California at the time. And maybe you can come down and do that. I'm like, all right. So I come down there with my stepdaughter and get a rental car. We flew down, got a rental car, and go there. And it's a burnout type of strip mall, right? I'm driving down the street, and I know the valley, San Fernando Valley, like the back of my hand, because that's where I was brought up. That's where I lived most of my whole life, born and raised there. I'm going down Devonshire and get to the place, and I look, and there's this big fucking banner at the top of the fucking strip mall that says O.J. Simpson. I'm like, what? And that's where I gotta go? I hate that motherfucker. Because I know he killed the people. I know he did it. You know? What the fuck? So I go there and I say, Sean, what the fuck is this shit? He goes, I didn't even know he was going to be here either. You know? So there's another promoter there named Bill Philpott who handles PJ Souls. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Gut reaction.
So O.J. Simpson's upstairs in this little room by himself, you know, because nobody wants to talk to the piece of shit. But there's some people that want his autograph, I guess. I don't know, whatever. Inside Edition's there, right? And so I'm minding my own business, you know, and doing my thing, and I can't believe, you know, what's going on. It's like, in a good way, there's the fans. I was like, God, my heart was just like melting. It's like these people like me and shit, you know, the Halloween movie and shit, you know? And so Sean comes up to me and he goes, you know, Inside Edition's here, and they want to do an interview with somebody, because there's not just me, there's a bunch of celebrities there, like PJ and me and some others, right? And they want to do an interview about, you know, how you feel about O.J. Simpson being here, but nobody wants to do it. I go, fuck, I'm in. Fuck, I'll get on camera, no problem, man. So they get me on camera. I'm like, yeah, I can't believe this guy's here. He killed those people. I know he did. I had it on VHS. I remember I had it. I've moved so many times it's gone now. But yeah, I know he killed them. I said, I didn't even know he was going to be here. If I would have known he was going to be here, I would have brought my stepdaughter for sure, and I wouldn't have come here either. And the lady's like, interviewer, she's like, God, I love this shit. You know, it's in her face, right? Because, you know, I'm pretty animated, you know, and I'm not really, like, subdued, you know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, I know he killed him. You know, she's like, oh, this is great. Sarah Moran's older brother, Michael Myers, talking about this shit. It was great. It was great. So that was my first experience of doing this convention, and I turned to Sean and go, yeah, no, I ain't doing this shit, man. Even though I made a killing, right? I'm like, no, I'm not interested. He goes, no, this is just a weird one. This is just a weird one. I'm like, all right, man, whatever, you know. So time goes by, and he calls me, and he goes, I got this convention. It's called Chiller. It's in New Jersey. And I go, Chiller Theater. I'm like, oh yeah. I'm like, whatever, dude, And he goes, no, it's really big, And Chiller, I don't know if you guys know about it, but it's fucking huge. It's fucking huge. So he goes, yeah. He goes, you should do this one. It's huge, I'm like, all right. Yeah, okay, we'll do it. Well, I didn't take it seriously. He said, I missed my flight. I got there late, And I get there, and the Hells Angels are doing the fucking security. Like, oh, this is good. I love this shit. Because I lived in a house with the Hells Angels owned at one point in my life, so I understood it, And so I get there at my table. Sean puts the banner up, and I put my pictures down and get all situated. I got a fucking line, like forever. I'm like, what the fuck for me? What are you, out of your mind? And these people are so nice to me. I was like, oh my God. It's like broke my heart, And so that's when I learned. That's when I learned that I don't know shit. I don't know shit, And, it's just people that came from Tennessee and Florida and shit to New Jersey just to meet me. They said, yeah, we just came to meet you. We haven't, we know everybody. We've met everybody. Just you. We have, nobody's, 10 years we've been waiting for you to show up. I'm like, oh, fuck, Jesus Christ. Sorry, And that's when I found out,
When did you rediscover your love for acting?
I didn't rediscover it. I always had it. Oh yeah. I just won't do Hollywood.
Okay.
I do. Well, I will if they want to come knocking on my door, which they did for this last Halloween. They wanted me to be in, use my footage. Mm-hmm. But as far as pursuing Hollywood, like a lot of them do, I just won't do it. I just won't do it. It's stupid. But I do a lot of independent movies every year. I do, in between 2 to 5 a year. Mm-hmm. And that's what I really like is the independent films because it's new upcoming filmmakers that really have a passion to make movies like John Carpenter did when he first started.
Sure.
And that's what I love.
Do you have a recent favorite story?
Recent favorite story?
Or a recent good story?
Good story?
Yeah. Fun story.
I always have good stories, pal.
Well, tell me one.
I always got good ones.
Last set you were on, something bizarre happened?
Let's see, the last set I did a called Clown Motel.
Well, certainly.
Yeah, that was a good one. That blew up. It's amazing. I did one a couple years ago where I had to play a reporter, and my buddy who produced it and his buddy who was the director, they had a certain view of, how I should be, But, just said, you're a reporter that has a real smart fucking tongue and smart ass and all that shit. I'm like, all right. And I read the script, and I'm like, I'm reading my part. And I thought, because I was, believe it or not, classically trained.
Well,
okay.
Certainly, yes.
I did Shakespeare and shit,
Shakespeare and shit.
Yeah, and
Good.
shit.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but I was reading the script and I'm like, this fucking reporter's got some fucking secrets. He's got some weird shit going on, right? And so I came to him. I said, look, here's what I think. I think this guy might be a closet gay.
All right.
He might be closet gay, which is nothing wrong with that. He's got a wife and kids, but from what I'm reading, man, it sounds like he's got some issues. How he talks and stuff, and plus it'd be pretty funny, especially me playing like kind of gayish. with a pink, I wore a pink button shirt and shit, red glasses, or framed glass. Yeah, so that's a good one.
All right.
That was a good story. And they saw me, they go, you're fucking right. This would be great. I'm like, yeah, because their movies that they do is all fucking like really, really off the wall, like really bizarre. You know? So yeah, that's about the last one. That was fun.
Well, that was always the difference between Hollywood and the Indies. Hollywood has to stay in whatever formula.
You can't even change the dialogue.
No, exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you have a point where was there a specific point where you said, Hollywood, fuck this?
Yes.
Okay.
I was early 30s, maybe 31 or 32, and I'd already had some shit, though, that my agent was really pissed off at. Like, I did a guest star on Chips, and I worked on that show for 5 days. And Larry Wilcox, the blonde guy, he was a really good guy. Really good guy. Eric Estrada was the biggest piece of shit you ever wanted. And he got blackballed from Hollywood. You know, he couldn't work in Hollywood because he was such a prick to everybody. And I worked on that show for 5 days, and I had scenes with him and everything, close-ups, and he wouldn't even say hello to me. He wouldn't acknowledge me. He was just a piece of shit. I mean, a piece of shit. Larry Wilcox quits, right? And my agent calls me up, and she's all fucking thrilled. She goes, look, Larry Wilcox quit, and the first person they thought about of taking his part, taking over was you. I'm like, well, you tell them to go fuck themselves. I mean, I could have made like 60, 70 grand a week, you know? I'm like, fuck you, because A, I'm dumb, and 2, I just couldn't stand this piece of shit. I knew I was going to fucking knock him out one day on set. I knew I'd do it. I knew I would do it. I know I would. Just knock him out, you know?
So for Eric Estrada's safety, you removed yourself from Hollywood.
Or just my stupidity. You know, because I really can be really stupid, you know. But he was just, you know, you have to have principles in life, and he just went against every principle I ever believed in, and I just knew that I would lose it one day probably. And it was a show about cops. I mean, you know, I've had run-ins with cops, and I don't, you know. I just, no. Mm-mm.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that.
Do you have anything coming up you want to talk about?
I'm supposed to be in Clown Hotel 2. Well,
Okay.
I'm not supposed to, I'm going to be. That's going to be, I think, shooting in April or May or something like that.
Same character?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And the reason why I like that movie is because there is really a hotel in, God, is it Arizona or Nevada? But it's called the Clown Motel. Mm-hmm. And every room, see you guys, and every room has a different clown face on the door. And they have the lobby has nothing but clown dolls.
Sounds amazingly comforting.
Maybe like 100 of them. It's a real place, and it's right next to a cemetery. It's the weirdest fucking place. It's the weirdest fucking place in the world. It's just strange.
So there's no set design then? That's
exactly
exacting.
right.
Okay.
Right.
I would die to shoot there. I really would.
I know. They did, and that's why one of the reasons why the movie's become so popular.
Yeah.
You know, it's great.
Well, we have a couple minutes left. Anyone have any questions for Tony? Make it good. You look like you have a question. Come on. Something burning?
No, they look okay.
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
sure, Steve.
So whenever you got casted to play Michael Myers, at that time, were you aware that you weren't going to be the only person playing Michael Myers at the time?
No, I had no idea. I didn't know anything about the movie. You know, they didn't tell me anything about it. You know, and so the day I showed up to film, they go, here's your shit. You know, like I told you, and I did it. You know, like, okay, see you later. You know, it's sort of like Dumb and Dumber. You know, that line that Jim Carrey says, he goes, okay, we'll see you later. You know, like, and that was that, you know. And so I had no idea. Yeah, there's like, 6 people that wore the mask in Halloween 1, I guess, you know, played Michael Myers, you know. So I think, you know, John Carpenter put the mask on it, you know, also. Just a cool movie, though. Really, you know, really cool. I mean, for it to be standing the time, you know, test of time like it had to be cool, you know, and it is, you know. So, and Deborah Hill was one of the greatest women in the industry that I met. She was just a really, really, really great chick. Yeah, really great woman.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Do you think of one yet? Okay. All right. Well, let's have a round of applause for Mr.
You don't need to do that.
No,
How about applause to him for sitting through this boring shit?
I wasn't bored, and that's all that's important. So, thanks very much, guys. He's available
Thank you, guys.
for the rest of the weekend.
Thanks, guys.
Buy stuff.